Today's pachinko files are the Comet 2L, a little different Comet 2. I don't know what the L stands for, but maybe it means jackpot on the left. Instead of having the jackpot in the center, it's off to the left. I had to make some linkages because they were missing. I don't know what used to be there, but this works. And in the center is this ball chute from the front that has the baseball players. The ball comes in from the top and then swings around, comes towards you, and then goes under. Maybe to get a little center action. I have a feeling this was a, I don't know, transition model, something. If you look at the way the plastic is cut, it's pretty rough here, around the edges here. Looks like it was done by hand, and may have been an early model. I'm planning on getting the electrical going today. We have the empty ball switch here. Sounds good. I'll check the contacts. We have the jackpot ball leaf inside here. I'll take this off and clean those contacts, make sure that works. There are two light bulbs hanging out here and a fuse holder. And I'm thinking to add one bulb somewhere in this yellow thing, hopefully in a way that doesn't really mess it up from stock, like anyone would really know, but that's just the way I like to do things. Since I started to take it down, I might as well show you this extra long lever arm here that connects the jackpot thing all the way to the jackpot mechanism on the left. Haven't seen that in any other Comets. Here's that mechanism in action. Very long arm. With the back mechanism off, down to just the channels and moldy wood. So I can get the yellow thing off and add a light bulb. Okay, here we have an LED. I'm going to slip it in there and worry about wiring it up later. At about 9 volts, you can figure out the resistor you need for an LED. You want 20 to 50 milliamps to not burn it out. So you take 9 volts divided by 20 to 50 milliamps. Get all your units corrected, and you will get the resistance. I think it's around 3 to 400. Okay, it's a lot longer distance than I thought. I have to go all the way from here out to, I don't know, somewhere here. So I'm going to have to sneak the LED up behind here and run a couple wires out. So, attaching wires now. Okay, now that I got the wires soldered on there, I'm going to try to sneak them up and through, and then have that little light inside the center part, eventually. Okay, after much futzing and cursing, we have an LED hanging from the place where the orange and yellow plastic meet. On this side I have a couple wires that I'll get out of the way of the ball holes, and send up to the area of the jackpot light. But don't forget to add a resistor. Someone had totally messed up the wires here, so I have decided to strip it all down, take all the pieces off, and use the other Sanyo 2 to reassemble it. That's what's nice about having a second machine. Okay, back to stock. And those are not the best soldering joints that I could have created. I should have cleaned it off with emery cloth and acetone and all that stuff, but I was lazy. So let's just hope it works like that. The farthest left is one bulb. The red, 1 lead of the bulb, red. Second one has a red and white lead from the white bulb twisted together. fifth one over is the other white lead for a bulb, and the two red ones on the far right are the interrupt switch for the ball empty. To clarify that, the switch on this machine is wired so that when you click it, it actually disconnects the circuit. It doesn't close the circuit, it opens the circuit. So when it's in the up position, no balls on it, it makes contact. And when there are balls, it opens the circuit. This is unlike some of the other ones. Okay, wiring's done, 9 volts on, there's a fuse in there, and let's see what happens. When we run out of balls, we get one light, and when we get a jackpot, down here I'm gonna make them touch, we get a light there. Excellent. And I will add that extra red and black wire across the jackpot bulb when I have a resistor. I don't have a resistor. If you put the LED straight on 9 volts, it'll light, but it'll be like a short circuit and it'll burn out really fast. Last thing to make is a bulb holder. These two are just dangling. We want them neatly held up, not touching anything, and behind that red 15. So let's see what we can find in the scrap bin. Well, it's not elegant, but it'll do. That's just a one of those black twist ties that comes on everything that you buy electronic. Twisted around the bases, the base holders, and then hooked up on top. It doesn't actually matter if the sides are touching, it's just ground, so that won't hurt anything. Here's a trick to getting the leaves adjusted. I can push that bottom leaf up and it'll make contact and it'll go off, but it's not quite close enough right now for the jackpot mechanism to go off. So I'm going to do is reach in there with a little hemostat and bend the upper leaf down a little bit so it's almost touching. You can see it bent right there, almost touching. I had it touching before, and that was too close, of course. So you play with a little bit, and end up with a little bend in it. It's brass, so you can pretty much bend it slowly back and forth, and you won't break it. And it should work now. Back to the front side here. This is the recovered 3 Ocean Sal with the acrylic core. Let's just try to see if that jackpot lock works. Yes, we've got it. What's kind of neat about this is when you get it up here in the upper one, it shoots down through that middle part, and if this counter were tilted the right way, it would fall through. Depending on which side it falls through, it'll open one of the little pockets. Very fun. The one problem I had with this pour was that this left leaf pocket got a little jammed up with acrylic, and it's not quite working right. It doesn't fall open like it should. Uh-oh, we're stuck. That means my leaves are too close in the back. Nope, that is the low ball indicator now. Okay, so things are working. We'll just refill this upper pocket. And the light goes off. Yay. I've cleaned the chrome up on this one as much as I can tolerate, and I did use some Brasso and try to polish the pins a bit. Not as much as Eddie does, but that's all I can do. Came pretty clean. The plastic needs a little cleaning. And I need to get a piece of glass for the front. There's a pretty scratched up piece of plastic. But we're almost there with this Comet 2L. I just realized that this one had this extra light for the house. So I moved the bulbs. So one goes up there in that hole, and one goes down below. So now not so confusing.